Shalom Aleichem. A guten Chodesh. It's Aleph der Chodesh Adar Tavshin Pei. It's a great time to talk about Avas Yisrael because real simcha comes when you have Avas Yisrael. So I'd like to share two things that are relevant to an issue that was raised and came to my attention this morning when I was at the Shemesh Shabbos Shul, where two individuals came over to me, and one asked me what's going on in Crown Heights. He heard something on a radio program, Motzei Shabbos, and the other person came over ridiculing the flags, which I understood already what he meant. The yellow flags that the so-called Mashiachists in 770 parade with. My dear friends, Avas Yisrael means that we don't wash our dirty laundry in public. I don't care who you are and what you are. Well-intended, something that someone's doing that's wonderful, spending a lot of resources, financial resources, effort, and energy to bring Eden together, it's wonderful. But because your program doesn't go exactly the way you want it to be or the way you're told it's going to be, is not an excuse to badmouth other Yidden, your own brothers, in public. And I say that with an introduction of two people. One is the Amshinover Rebbe in Bayit Vagan, who told me himself and made a very, very important comment about the Mashiachists 20 years ago that I'd like everyone to hear. And the other is a neighbor of Rabbi Belsky, who wasn't exactly Chabad's best friend, something that I think will knock you off your feet. So it's 20 years ago, and it was in the middle of the heyday of the Mashiachists and anti-Mashiachists, the differences 5 years or so after Gimel Tammuz, and it was a very tough time for us. I went to see the Amshinover Rebbe with someone just to talk about other things, important things, and not expecting him to ask and raise the issue of Mashiachism. But he did. And I had to make a very quick decision. Will I tell him everything? Will I say nothing? Will I fake it? Will I just excuse myself? I basically told him, look, it's a complicated issue, and there are two sides and two opinions, and I kind of skirted the issue and didn't really want to get into it. He looks at me and he says to me in Hebrew, Lo Nora. It's not Geferlach in Yiddish. In English, it's not terrible. What the Mashiachists are doing isn't outrageous. And I'm not a Mashiachist, but I'm also not an anti-Mashiachist. I'm a paravist. And I know it sounds cute, but that's the truth. And I believe that's what the Amshinover Rebbe was sharing with us, not just with me. You know, there's a big Eibishter in the world, and there's a big Rebbe in the world, and they know how to take care of the issues. Does this mean to say that you should parade around with flags in the shul? No, because the decorum of a shul, it's not a place where you have flags. However, it's not for me or you to enforce that. That's up to the Rabbonim and Gaboyim. Go to your rabbis, go to your Gaboyim of 770, make a tumul, make a rash, make a big deal with them. But it's the leaders that need to enforce these things. The place to enforce these things is not on the radio, not on television, etc. So that's the first thing. Something that I didn't expect and that I remember till today, and I share with you. And believe me, the Amshinover Rebbe is a very, very special person, a genuine person. And if you ask, does that mean to say that he supports the Mashiachists? Not necessarily. Does it mean to say that he's against the flags? Not necessarily. I don't know. But what I do know is that he said Lo Nora. The second thing is Rabbi Belsky over Shalom, who was the head of the Kashrus division of the OU. He's already passed on. And he was a Rosh Hashiva in Torah Vadas. A neighbor of his told me that he had a tenant, and he still has a tenant, although he's passed on, but the tenant still lives there. who wears a big yechi yarmulke, and how he treated this person with such respect and honor, and how he didn't raise the rent. And we know that Belsky was against Mashiachism. There's no question about it. You know, he wrote that infamous article in the Mishpacha magazine, which goes deeper than Mashiachism. It really is all about Lubavitcher and Chabad and the Rebbe, and I don't want to get into that right now. But surely, with Mashiachism, he was not for Mashiachism. And nevertheless, he has a major, massive Mashiachist living in his house, meaning upstairs as a tenant, treats him with golden gloves, doesn't raise the rent on him, and doesn't say that his wine is forbidden and that I'm not allowed to have anything to do with him. Okay? I share this with you today because it's Chodesh Adar. We need Simcha, and we need Emunah, and we need Avas Yisrael. So how to work out the issues, I don't have the answer. But I know that you have leaders, we have leaders, we have Rabbanim, go to them. If they don't listen, like the Rebbe said by Fabrengen, say to Tehillim they should listen. But they are the ones in charge. May Hashem help that we will have the humility to acknowledge that we don't air our issues in public, and Hashem will bring Mashiach, that everyone will be happy very speedily. Amen v'amen. A guten Chodesh.